My name is Mia Williams. I started a shop called Mad 70s on Depop, selling mostly vintage garments.
So my name's DJ Henry WP. I'm a DJ in Brighton and London.
My name's Hannah Lawn and I run an interior design company, but I also have a space at the Old Cinema selling vintage furniture and homewares.
The sort of styles that I focus on musically are, well, they tend to be sort of 60s, 70s, 80s and a bit of 90s.
I love the 60s and 70s. It was a very flattering style, you know, the cinched waists, the cropped flares, and I just think it's quite fun.
It's just, for me, it's all about being really eclectic and just getting things that I love, rather than thinking about a specific period or time.
I started finding these absolutely amazing pieces, and I think that's where I found the love for 70s, 60s and 70s.
I think it's very important to show music that people haven't heard before, almost teach them to be able to keep the sort of music alive.
I would even wear my dad's shirts, which is way too big, and I would tie it up in a knot, make it into an 80s look. It would kind of bring back memories to them.
I think anyone can buy vintage furniture now and just mix it in with what they love at home. The most important thing is, if you really love something and you have a reaction to it, get it, because it won't be there again when you go back.
When you buy a record, basically, it's more, listening to it is more of an event, and it makes you sort of sit there and listen to it. It's a lot truer, it's sort of an analogue sound. It's just nice to be able to have physical copies of stuff. I always thought that it was great how big they were, because they're like a piece of art, basically.
You don't need to be an expert, you just go for things that you love.
I think you need to try to establish yourself, and you need to be unique. Mainstream shops, high-end fashion brands, I feel like, you know, you kind of have to buy every week if you want to stay on trend all the time.
People these days want to know where everything is from. There's a real trend to know where your food's from, you know, the provenance of what you're eating. And I think it's now translating to interiors. People want to know where that piece of furniture's from.
Selling vintage is also doing good to this planet. I think more and more people want to be part of that.
I think recycling furniture is always going to be a brilliant thing. You know, sustainability is very important, the environment's incredibly important, and it's nice not to just be throwing out the same old stuff. You know, to get something with history and a story, and you know it's been pre-loved and you're going to love it, and then hand it on again, is a really lovely thing.
The last time I counted, I had about 1,000 records, and I think it's gone up by about 500. I'm sort of like almost chasing my collection. When I do actually buy records, it can either be a day spent in a record shop, in the basement of a record shop, looking through the bargain bins, and then there's the online sort of side of things, where it's more, I've got a selection of records that I want.
I think my life evolves around fashion. I think I can never stop buying. I can't tell you how many pieces, but I can tell you it's quite a lot, and they're all in a lot of different bags.
Buying vintage and antiques isn't about being old-fashioned and you know, just putting things together that don't feel modern and fresh. It's very much about mixing it all with new pieces too.
I think it's amazing if someone gets it right, if someone can dress as a certain era, as, you know, the 60s from head to toe. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
It takes you back to that time and you can just imagine a different era. I definitely think that vintage will always be in style because it's such a personal choice, and I can't see that ever going out of fashion. And I just love the idea of things going round in circles and just reappearing in different homes and having a different life again and being mixed into all sorts of different styles. It's just cyclical, it just keeps going.